Hi everyone, I'm Liming and I'll be playing We're Not Really Strangers, Self-Reflection Edition. If you don't know what We're Not Really Strangers is, it's basically this game that's for connection with yourself and other people. And I've been eyeing it for a while because I've been seeing it on TikTok, Instagram and all those kinds of social media platforms. And I actually got so obsessed with it that I actually followed their TikTok and I liked a lot of videos, and I even bought myself an expansion pack on its own. I bought the deck Raid Table Talk and just play with my friends. Basically it's a game with a deck of cards, and the cards will actually give you some really deep questions for connection and get to know yourself and other people better. Without further ado, let's just get right into it. Okay, it is shuffled, so let's go. First question is, what do I need help with currently? Who can help me? How can I help myself? What do I really need help with at the moment? Honestly, it's finding myself. I have lots of goals. If you guys cannot see the goal setting vision board, yeah. At that point in time, I thought that I found myself. I'm someone who wants to do this and someone who wants to do that. But I think I was wrong. If someone asked me, who are you? Who really are you? Can you just introduce yourself? Or say one word that describes who you are. I don't think I can necessarily say anything out, because if I'm picturing myself right now, it's just very hollow. I can see it as a good opportunity to change myself for the better, be who I want to be instead of who people want me to be. Who can help me? I honestly just think it's myself. How can I help myself? Keep going on walks, and one fine day, hopefully I get that epiphany and I'm like, oh, that's myself, and that's just kind of cool. What did the people who raised me teach me about love? What lessons do I want to keep? What do I want to challenge? Very interesting. Coming from a very conservative family, typical Asian family, we don't really show love. I mean, we do in very different ways. I'm sure a lot of you, if you are, in conservative families, you would relate to this. We don't really throw the word love around a lot because of it's just cringy lah. I remember there was one time my sister and I were watching a show, and the siblings were so lovey-dovey. They were like, oh my gosh, I love you sis, oh me too. And she looked at me, she was eating her popcorn, and she looked at me and she was like, oh, I can never imagine saying that to you, or doing that to you. And then I was like, yeah, me neither. The people who raised me teach me that love doesn't necessarily show in certain ways. It can be through actions. So from what I picked up on throughout my past few years of living, which is 18 years, okay, love is when my dad traveled all the way to my school, my secondary school, just to pass me an EZ-Link card. When my mom wakes up early, even though she slept at 3 a.m, she wakes up early to make breakfast for me. When my grandfather and grandmother knocks on the door and gives me fruits and ensures that I'm not constantly stressed, I think that is what they taught me that love is, not necessarily through verbal. I actually never really heard them say that to me before. So that's interesting, but that's just some stuff that I picked up along the way. What lessons do I want to keep? Definitely just actions speak louder than words. That lesson is very important, and to me, I want to keep it for as long as I can. I do tell my best friends that I love them, but I became more selective with the word love. So now I don't just randomly tell people that I love them. So it's just quite but I do show it lah. What do I want to challenge? Challenge the notion of it is cringy lah, of course, because the word love shouldn't be seen as something that's or I won't say that because that's just kind of weird. Yeah, I don't think that we should continue this, so hopefully I'll be more open as well to do that. What's an important boundary I want to set with someone in my life? Why haven't I set it already? Boundaries. This word is a very sensitive topic, because boundaries, the word has been bouncing off my head. Previously, I don't love myself enough to set boundaries for myself, and I always like to throw myself around for people to vent, to be able to rant on and all that stuff. I'm not saying that it's bad. You definitely should. I mean, it's good for you to be an output for your friends lah, but at the same time, do not use that as an excuse to not love yourself, or because of that, don't neglect yourself. And I've just recently learned that you don't necessarily have to please everyone. So the boundary I would like to set, I don't have necessarily a word to phrase this, but the boundary I would like to set with many people in my life actually is that okay, like I need reciprocation. I know it's a very bad thing, as in I know we should not do things for rewards, but my reciprocation is not rewards. It's just, no, if I'm giving someone so much effort and time, right, and they don't reciprocate the same, and all they come to me for is just to help, for me to help them, then I wouldn't do it anymore. I wouldn't be like, you know, you're terrible, okay, I'm not gonna help you anymore because you suck, and like, no lah, I'm just gonna distance myself lah. But that's probably a boundary I can set if I could say it out loud, I guess. Okay, what is an unpopular opinion of mine that I hesitate to share with others? Very, very interesting. I actually saw this, I was just looking through it and I thought about it. An unpopular opinion would probably be that you don't really need someone to satisfy or validate you. I know it's very hard to have this kind of self-love kind of thing, blah blah blah. I know it's like super hard. I myself am trying my best already. When you say you're gonna love yourself, or when you say you're gonna take care of yourself, it shouldn't be for other people. For example, right, let's say I'm talking to person A, and person A says, you know what, Li Ming, I've decided that I'm gonna love myself, screw everyone else, I'm gonna love myself, and I'm gonna do this, do that, do this, do that. And I'm like, great. And they add on this last punchline that goes, and someday someone will love me. And I would just look at them and be like, loving yourself is good. It's very, very good. But if you want to improve yourself just to have someone along the way who will love me for who I am, then I think that's kind of a wrong goal. Because the whole point is to ignore everyone else or what they think of you and just do you. Like, love you, yourself, you know, like, but if you're just improving yourself for the sake of someone to love you and be like, okay, yeah, this is the standard that I think someone can love me, then I really think that it defeats the purpose, and you shouldn't live around that, because life is so much more than having someone in your life, right? Or maybe it's just my single ass saying this, but I really don't think so lah. I really don't think so. When was the last time I truly enjoyed my own company? What was I doing? Okay, yes, June holidays. But yeah, June holidays, I went out to Marina Bay Sands. Like, I really enjoyed my company. I sat by myself and I spent like 6 to 7 hours by myself. And it was when I really truly enjoyed my own company, because I felt like I always am afraid to be alone. So to enjoy my company is a huge step for me. I was really just contemplating about myself and saying, hey, you know, it's not really too bad to, you know, be alone and do what you love. So at that whole period of time where I'm just isolating myself, trying to figure out stuff, I did a lot of work, both studies and my own thing, like YouTube, podcasts, all that stuff. And it's this constant grind that really makes me very happy. I know, like, a part of me thinks, is it really making me happy, or is it just distracting me from the things that I need to face? When I come to think about it, there's really nothing much I can face. What insecurity has been holding me back the most? The first thing that comes to my mind is appearance, my body image and whatever. It held me back because whenever I want to be like, oh my god, I'm so cool, haha, I'm so hot and stuff like that, like as a joke, right? Even so, I pull myself back and hold myself back in thinking, maybe I'm not really in the place to say it. That was my first answer. But now that I think about it even deeper, would be the fact that I am quite loud, I guess. Because I am always a very, very extroverted, very loud person, and I really talk very loud. Yeah, in primary school, people would just laugh lah, because we're in primary school, right? But as the time goes up, people get tired of my shit. And I have received a lot of criticism about that. And I have a lot of people who come and tell me that, like, can you just stop talking? Or like, why are you so loud? Like, what's the point? It's so extra. I mean, things happen in life. People always judge you, right? But it kind of hurts me because it's like I'm putting myself out there and people are like judging. So that's just kind of bad. What expectation have I set on someone that has been hurting me the most? Across, right? It's just in general, across my years. I always thought, you know, the point of like idealizing someone, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a lover, a crush, whatever. It can be friends also. It can be siblings. It can be parents or whatever. Have this sort of idea in your head that like, whoa, we're gonna be like lovers forever, or like they're gonna do so much nice stuff for me, or they're gonna be my best friend, or you know, whatever like that. Then at the end of the day, they betray you and you're like, yeah. I think everyone has had problems like this with your lovers, with even your family, you know, with your friends and all that. The expectation was too high lah. Basically, like, I won't say they're bad people. It's just they are not your kind of people. You know, Like, there are just some things in life that you can accept, but other people can't accept, and vice versa. I have met both sides. I have met people that I can accept those flaws and mistakes, and likewise, there are some things that I just cannot accept, and that has been hurting me. Okay, honestly, I thought that I would have went through way more cuts than this, but that's it for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this really raw, very vulnerable video of mine. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I really hope I will see you guys in the next video.